Welcome back everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to discuss with you whether you should get your A-level exams remarked. This is so that you can get closure on your A-level results and move on with your life. So if you're interested in learning about whether you should get your A-level exams remarked, then keep on watching. You've just received your A-level exam results and the grades were not what you expected. Maybe you missed the mark with your grades and didn't get the grades that you needed in order to get into the university of your choice. It's like an athlete that missed the winning goal in soccer or didn't put the ball in the hoop in basketball. Or maybe it's like an actor or an actress that didn't act in the scene in the way that the director wanted and they have to film the scene again. Although you were disappointed with your A-level results, pause a minute and clear your mind of all the negative emotions and blame. You need a level head so that you can think clearly about the situation. Step back and think about what you did and what you thought that you did with regards to studying for your A-level course. This technique allows you to separate out what you did, your behaviors, from what you thought that you did, your beliefs. It's a powerful technique for the field of positive psychology that allows you to look at a situation from an unbiased perspective and see a more empowering path forward from where you are to where you want to be. This technique is what athletes do after they have finished playing the game, and it's what actors do after they have completed filming a scene. The athlete and the actor both reflect on their behaviors prior to playing the game or filming the scene. The athlete reflects on how many hours they trained for the game, how many training drills they completed with a coach, and how much effort they put into practicing for the game. The actor reflects on how many hours they spent learning the lines, rehearsing the scene, and improving their acting skills by working with an acting coach. In both examples, the athlete and the actor are thinking about what behaviors they were displaying leading up to playing the game or filming the scene. What they are not doing is thinking about their beliefs about playing the game or filming the scene. They aren't thinking about what they believe that they did prior to playing the game or filming the scene. They aren't thinking about how many hours they believed that they spent practicing or how many training drills they completed prior to the game. They aren't thinking about how many hours they believe that they spent learning the lines or rehearsing for a scene. This is because they know that if they do this, and they will not get an accurate feedback on their performance because the viewpoint will be filtered by their own beliefs about life. And this technique is what you need to do when it comes to your A-level results. You need to separate out your behaviors and beliefs so you can get closure on your A-level results and move on with your life. The first step you need to take in order to get closure is think about your behaviors in the course over the last 2 years. You need to think about how you behaved in the course and prepared for your A-level exam. At this point, you may want to pause the video and click on the link in the description to download the free ebook that includes all the resources I am discussing in this video. Pause for a minute and think about your study habits over the last 2 years. You need to think about the following. Number 1, whole pass papers. How many whole pass papers, i.e. paper 1, 2, or 3, did you complete under time conditions with the mark scheme closed? Number 2, past paper questions. How many past paper questions did you complete with the mark scheme closed when you were revising for your end of topic tests? 3, subject tutorials. Did you attend all subject tutorials once a week? Did you get all of your questions answered? Did you make sure that as the course progressed there wasn't anything that you didn't understand? 4, notes. Did you create a master set of notes that include the key concepts from what your teacher taught you in lesson or what you read about in the textbook? And number 5, lessons. Did you attend all of your lessons on time? Did you attend all of your lessons? If you are using the ebook, you will note these behaviors listed in the table on page 2 of the book. And that next to each behavior are options that you can tick to show how many times you demonstrated each behavior. The options that you have are always, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. It's best to complete this table on your own so you're not influenced by your parents or by your friends. It's important to be honest for a moment and not worry about looking good in front of your parents or friends. Pause the video for a moment and complete this table so that you can clearly see how many times you demonstrated this behavior rather than how many times you believe that you demonstrated each of the behaviors. Now, look at the table you just completed and make a note of what appears to be your average behavior in the course. For example, you may notice that it appears that you ticked sometimes for most of the behaviors. Therefore, your average behavior would be sometimes. It's important to understand that your behavior in the course impacted your final grade in the course. Students that demonstrated the behaviors listed in the table all the time in the course learned and retained more information than those students that rarely demonstrated the behaviors listed in the course. Therefore, their grade in the course would be higher on the final exam. Look at the table below, the one that you just completed. You will see a column for average behavior and a column for grade in the course. Find your average behavior in the course in the table and read across to see your expected grade in the course. Circle the expected grade in the course based on your average behavior. Now, complete the statement about your behaviors and expected grade in the course. My average behavior in the course was blank, therefore I should have earned a blank in the course. For example, my average behavior was sometimes, therefore I should have earned a C in the course. What you've just done in this exercise is review your behaviors and how they impacted your expected grade in the course. Next, you need to look at your beliefs about your grade in the course. If you look on page 3 of the book, it shows a belief statement which you need to complete using the information from the table on page 2 of the book. For example, I believe I should have earned the grade of a B in my A-level chemistry course because I was working at the level of a B. Pause the video and complete the belief statement. Once you've done this exercise, you need to write your belief statement out several times on a piece of paper until it makes sense to you and you feel comfortable with it. When you first write it out, you may not believe the statement because you were working at a lower grade than which you thought that you were working at. However, after writing out a couple of times, you begin to realize that in reality, if you're being honest with yourself, that really you weren't working at the higher grade you believed you were working at, rather you were working at the lower grade based on your behavior in the course. Pause the video and write out the belief statement until you become comfortable with it. And now we've discussed your behaviors and beliefs about your grade in the course, we can discuss whether you should get your A-level exams remarked. After completing the exercises on your behavior in the course and your beliefs about your grade in the course, there are a couple of possibilities that exist. Number 1, your grade in the final exam was higher than your expected grade. For example, you were working at the level of a C throughout the course, but you earned a B on the final exam. Number 2, your grade in the course based on your behavior in the course match. For example, you were working at the level of a C throughout the course and you earned a C on the final exam. Number 3, your grade in the final exam was lower than your expected grade in the course based on your behavior. For example, you were working at the level of a B throughout the course, but you earned a C on your final exam. It's a third possibility where I would suggest having the papers remarked. I would use the 5% rule to determine whether to get the papers remarked. If the total point value of all the papers is 300 points, then 5% the total points would be 15 points. So go to your exam board's website, look up the grade boundaries, and see if you are within 15 points of the next grade boundary. If you are, then I would suggest that you get your papers remarked. The reason that I suggest this is that although the examiners are really accurate when they mark the papers, 5% of the total point value is a reasonable margin of error. Keep in mind that your grade can go up, stay the same, or go down in value. Make sure if your grade drops by 5% of the total point value, then you are not in the next grade bracket. If you are, then I would not get the papers remarked. If you choose to get your papers remarked, then tell your teacher and tell the admissions team of the university to which you are applying. Then pay the fee and get the papers remarked. When you get the remarked papers back, it's time to get closure on your A-level results. You have looked at behaviours and determined the grade that you should have earned in the course. You have looked at your beliefs about your expected grade and your final grade in the course. And if you needed to, you have got your papers remarked. You have done everything that you should have done regarding getting closure on your A-level results. At this stage, you have several options. Number one, if your grade improved in your A-level results and you met the admissions criteria for your university of choice, then you can attend university. Number two, you can accept a position through clearing on a different course, either at the same university or a different university. Number three, you can take a gap year. Number four, get a job. Or number five, become an external candidate. Because you have determined your behaviours and beliefs about your A-level results and have accepted them, any of these options are a path forward for you from where you are to where you want to be in life. You have obtained closure with the A-level results and can now move on with your life. If you've enjoyed watching this video and have learned something from it, then please click the notification bell and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.